Body girls, don't get hurt, can't feel anything. And what I learned, I push it down, push it down. I'm the one, good time call, phone's blowing up. Bring on my doorbell, feel the love, feel the love.
You make sure you start getting people, we gotta roll.
Morning, sir. Good afternoon.
What's up? They're calling you. Get in there.
Run from this, here comes the shit, here comes the shit. Till I I'm just holding on for tonight. No, I'm just holding on for tonight. On for tonight. On for tonight.
You surround yourself with music everywhere you go. Your car shouldn't be an exception. In fact, it may be more important than anywhere else. That's why we put an 8-speaker Lotus sound system in the Nissan Sentra, engineered specifically for the Sentra's interior, with each speaker strategically placed and expertly tuned. So go ahead, choose your soundtrack, and hit the open road.
Yeah, well, just packs everything in. You're not, they're actually cleaning out anything. If you know what you're doing, you can scrape it out.
You scrape it or you get a flush?
Yes, peroxide works really
Or
good.
the thing like that mini vacuum they have now. And there's a commercial on it.
I got so much stuff now. That's it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just go back. Just
What's up, brother? You turned the other way. I was trying to give you a pound.
I get home, I got she's been trying to please don't talk in my gold sleep in my drink on Monday days you're gone and I gotta say I try to keep you up on
So the orchestra, what do you play?
First violin section, third stand. There's third stand on the outside of the first violin section.
Oh, you play. I've been thinking about actually. I know you play.
I've been playing now for 25 years.
Wow.
I started about 4 now. So about 25 years.
You know that, so. So you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's really hard to
No.
You're gone and I gotta say I to give you up my mind.
It's the hardest part is getting the 2 hands coordinated. Once you get that, it's not that bad.
We have a concert.
Once a month, we'll be at the November concert. Happens to be right every time I'm on it. I had to miss the weekend rehearsal second. And take part in concerts.
What concert will there?
Concerts are held mostly in the performing arts, amateur theater.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm fine.
How you doing? Yeah, the crowd. Yeah.
To keep you off my mind. To keep you off my mind.
I've never seen another album. You're like,
So this is a pilot. It's actually like a bigger.
Hey, for any AGL that's broadcasting in, welcome. We're going to ask that you go into the Facebook and comment your attendance. And don't forget to also continuously comment your light bulb moments. If you're in Puerto Rico, you want to have your assignments checked by Paola, and she'll put it on the spreadsheet. If you are not in Puerto Rico, but you're broadcasting in, I need you to email me with the following: a copy of your updated budget for the month, a copy of your check register, as per the 2 assignments in the financial realm. Number 3, your total CPO for the challenge period thus far, and then finally, either a picture or your actual attack list with the number on the attack list, so we can get those checked out. Thanks, guys.
haircut? Did you? Yeah. You can tell. Yeah.
Last night, you're like, nah, it's good. I got this.
Are those 3 seats?
Are these seats? You said that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone sitting there.
How about I sit here?
Yeah, actually, they're pressing like 3 seats. I think is there photos? Yeah, my Puerto Rico. Yeah, like they're seeing it. I just for the meeting, tell me about the speeches here. Like, oh, yeah. It's all from St. Paul. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's like some sort of like Asian Africa. It's me. The guy. There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I had to go take care of that.
Take a picture of me and the clean cut young man. Wow, look at him.
All right,
So hard.
2, 1.
So we'll be playing charter the second round of the playoffs right across the street.
Like Calvary?
No, at WA, right across the street.
Next 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Hey, what is this? Can we change this music, please? Change it.
Yeah, send that.
In there.
Oh man, I can't see myself anymore.
They never do it.
Right.
It's so weird.
At least you get a good view though.
No, yeah, well, they get the best views in the house right now. That's what they're getting.
You're looking at the best.
What?
It's just frustrating.
Let's get to the closer seats first. We can, this second row, you guys can move. You can extend it. You guys look like sardines.
Like
All right, we're gonna start in about 3 to 4 minutes. But in the meantime, we're gonna do a quick mix and mingle. If you haven't already downloaded all the files, make sure you have those. Or if you came with those printed, that's the same thing. Just for further reference, if we start at 1, just because you're here starting at 1, so it's important to get your assignments checked in. And as we're getting closer and closer to Olean, closer and closer to next summer, these are the things we need to do to button things up. Wouldn't you agree? It's better to be buttoned up than not, correct? Okay. Do me a favor also, this first row, it looks uncomfortable looking at you. Especially like these gentlemen. I feel this poor guy, he's a special guest. He's like, is this what it's like here? Yeah, so spread it out. Perfect. Second row, third row, perfect. Okay, good. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to get everything signed out, uploaded out on your folders, all ready to rock and roll. If you could also post on the Facebook, what you're most, yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. What you're most excited about today, and what's exciting you most for today, okay? And we'll go from there.
This was last night at like 12:30.
Yo, it was 55 degrees last night.
Eddie Sheeran's signature fusion of acoustic pop, folk, and hip-hop is taken from Britain's underground music scene to international success. Several awards and nominations along the way. Now Sheeran returns with his new album, Multiply, which features the Pharrell Williams produced single.
I was gonna start replaying the conversation from yesterday. That's like on about it. Lewis was crazy, man. Lewis is man. Hey, you gotta wear brown shoes with that. What? You gotta wear brown shoes with that. Next time. What you said? You don't have wear glasses? I really don't like that outfit. I was like, you know what? I'm just trying to look good today. And I figured there's no better way to look than good when you're wearing glasses. It's actually like yeah.
Exalted in the sea,
Wow.
as long as I am with you.
Like literally nothing changes, right? Like so look how crooked they are that
You gave me a chance to say that it's a shot in the dark, but I'm waiting. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No place I'd rather be. Stay out on a mission to find out inner peace. Make it everlasting. So nothing incomplete. It's easy being with you. Sacred simplicity. As long as we're together, there's no place I'd rather.
I want to welcome Team Puerto Rico. I want to welcome from the Virgin Islands, Nia. I want to welcome Ana Hinestrosa from Georgia. I want to welcome LeBron James. I want to welcome President Barack Obama is on. And the originator of the Ebola virus is joining us for today. Awesome. Welcome, team. Welcome, team. Okay, I'm going to hit the music, and for the next 90 seconds, I want you to find either someone you don't know, introduce yourself, I want you to connect. I want you to have a conversation. I want you to build rapport with that person, catch up. And if you know pretty much everyone, I want you to find someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Several new people, a couple of special guests, a couple of people who have flown under the radar. No more flying under the radar. Ready? Put your stuff down slowly. Put your stuff down slowly now first so that we don't knock computers over. Slowly. Technology is expensive. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Adolfo.
Right, give me a second.
Adolfo.
You're from Miami?
Yeah, I'm from Miami.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from Palo.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
How long you
I've been here since late July. I was in my fast start during SC2 conference.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, we're like a month apart.
Yeah, pretty much. More or less, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So far so good. I mean, I love it. Yeah. I mean, so like I really like it.
Yeah, why'd
I join? All right. Honestly, I joined Cutco because I got recommended by a friend, and I was like, "Hey, cool, $15." You know, like when at first I thought it was $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Because, like whatever. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be $15 an hour. So I was like, "Oh hell yeah, like awesome summer job."
Yeah.
And then and then the reason why I stuck with it after is because of AGL.
Yeah. I mean, why I joined is the experience. I knew it was like sales, it'd be like good information. On this sports stadium, so I was like, why not? This is like good practice for negotiating, networking, and then like see from an AGL school, I love this. Like the knowledge you gain. Yeah, you did the last session, right? Yeah. The knowledge you gain like every day is crazy. We're learning stuff like when we go to what are you, freshman college?
Yeah, freshman college. Right now I'm doing 2 years in Dade, and then hopefully Johns Hopkins or MIT.
Okay, awesome. What are you
biomedical engineering.
Okay, yeah, word. It's like stuff going here. It's like, so,
No, and on top of that, I want to get a master's in engineering management. So.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to manage skills at what, 18, 19? Yeah. You can't beat that, you know? Now it's like you're teaching around office for summer. It's like, you can't beat that. Like, of course. You put that in your resume, having that experience, it's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's a huge thing for me, the resume. Because like the schools I'm trying to get into, they're insanely competitive. Like they're the top schools in the world.
Yeah.
So they're insanely competitive.
Stop and stop, and we find someone different. Next 90 seconds. Ready, go.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just saying hi to her. Say hi. You keep building your rapport. I like your lips. Like purple and red and a whole bunch of fuchsia colors all in one. What color is that? It's red. Oh. They're ready. Fabulous.
All right, grab a seat. Let's roll. Your bag is messing up everything. Yeah, can you fix that? Your bag pulled out something. Thank you. Have a seat, everybody. Let's roll. Let's grab a seat. Let's roll. Have a seat. Good to see our future branches, managers, leaders. We have a couple special guests, district managers in the house. Welcome. Some new haircuts. Hey, Tovar. Luke looks the new man. This looks like a man. Yes. I want to thank before we start, I want to thank Next Level Group for what I thought was a very productive session. Thank you for your participation, excitement. I want to thank our leaders in the group. I want to thank our PSM, our district office manager from Miami, those of you that traveled all the way from Florida, birthday girl, congratulations. So before I start, I have a couple of quick random thoughts. Number one, I went through the archives and I found this very unique picture, and some of you have seen this. Who has seen this? Raise your hand, say aye. Aye. Okay, so you've seen this before. If you haven't, these are my cousins. Now, this is actually the elite forces of the Korean Army, I believe, and it's just showing some of their training regimen, like the Navy SEALs, if you will, of the Korean National Secret Service and Guard. And what they do is they do these random. This is a specific picture of them bending backwards, and then the seniors and the patrol officers and the trainers will take ice and snowballs and throw it at their bare chests. Wow! while they are inverted in the middle of an Arctic environment. Okay. Why do I show this to you? I'm not really sure why. But if I were to relate it, I just think about our training is nowhere near this hard. I also think that in order to progress to a place where you can be considered elite, like this is an elite force, you have to go through some pain and some sacrifice and some things that are uncomfortable. For certain, that is uncomfortable. And what we're going through is uncomfortable for many of you. And if it's not, then you're not growing. Keep that in mind. This also, back to our focus on creating energy and fitness. It says here, staying fit as an adult is important too. On average, an employee who exercises regularly for 15 or is 15% more efficient. And this is an interesting statistic. An average employee's 50-hour work week is a fit employee's 42.5-hour work week. What does that mean? When you have a higher fitness level, it doesn't mean you're in peak physical shape to be a supreme athlete. It just means you're taking care of yourself. You're putting good fuel into your body. You're keeping out junk as often as possible with respect to living and enjoying the fun stuff. Hydrating, right? We have a couple of you with water bottles. A lot of you hydrating, eating the right foods, exercise. Circle of influence is mental health and fitness. That's a big focus for our division. A term you may have heard me say in the beginning of the stages of FC when we were trying to create a culture in 2010, 11, and 12 was fit mind, fit body, and fit business. When you have fit mind, when you have fit body, you have a fit business. So this is circle of influence. This is proper perspective. This is stress, the ability to handle multitask. This is stretching your capacity. Eating right, fitness, energy, water. This is all the stuff we're doing with money. It's really interesting how some of you who didn't get your money assignment in are also some of the worst ones with money in the group. It's really ironic. I looked through very quickly, not all, but the few of you that don't have your assignments in for the financial are also the ones that are texting me all the time about financial issues. It's just how ironic, and not really ironic, how interesting. And if you get everything together, that's what causes what we call fit leader. This is from the last prep and from a couple of district manager preps, but when you have wellness as a priority, not just fitness, but wellness, just mental health and physical health and energy, there's a difference in the amount of engagement, right? It's almost a fractional engagement, 7% engagement in an organization, a team, a business where your mental well-being and your physical well-being is not a priority versus almost more than half, 55%. This is interesting too. This is those of you that have heard my brother and we talk about the concept of 3.0. What's 2.0? One level above and the better version. 3.0 is the best version of yourself. That's my challenge for you today. I'm gonna actually have a challenge. You know, they do this. They have the ALS challenge, the ice bucket. Okay, some of you recommended me. I will not do that. What else? They have a 100-day happiness challenge. I just see all these different hashtags. I'm going to challenge you in a little bit. I'm going to challenge the best version of you into the public challenge, right? Can everything on Facebook? So for me to stop social media and your ability to get on social media, I think that's just being ignorant to today's society. But I think if you can put yourself in the best possible light and really put forth the best version of you, so instead of redirecting that really funny Vine video that's really inappropriate but funny to your friends, can you not redirect that video? Exactly. Maybe that's the light bulb. I don't know. What's the 3.0 version of you? I want to take 30 seconds right now. Go to your notes, 30 seconds. The easiest 2 to 5 things you can do right now, leaving from this prep, that will create and move you towards the better version, the best version of you. Not the 2.0, but the 3.0 version. Fitness, health, Cutco, money, personal, relationship. I want everyone to write this down. Top 2 to 5 things you can do when you leave here today to move towards creating and exemplifying and living the reality of what is the best version of you. Think Cutco for a couple seconds. Put some stuff down. Think financial. Put some stuff down. Think fitness and energy. Put some stuff down. Think circle of influence. How do you create the better version of you? Put some stuff down. Another 30 seconds. What's going to get you closer towards the 3.0 version of you? Remember, any light bulbs, post them on Facebook. Okay, stop. No matter how far you got. My challenge to you is how many of those can you put to use right when you leave here today? In the next 48 hours, 72 hours. Speaking of 3.0, I wanted to show you. Some of you have seen my brother has his business and his personal training business, his lifestyle business. He's got promotional trailers for his training. This is the newest one, but it came out last year. But under the banner of, what do you call it, Throwback Thursday? You guys do that? He posted a video of when his brand came out, his logo came out. So it's kind of like a motivational video. It's interesting because it's right before the push. Check it out.
When I was younger, I used to have these dreams where I was chasing after the sun. I thought that if I could run fast enough, I could eventually catch it. Then I would wake up one step ahead of everybody, maybe even find a better version of myself. Silly kid, you can't just dream. You gotta run, you gotta push, you gotta fight, you gotta strive to get to that next level. And whatever that next level is, the sun keeps rising every morning, giving us another chance to push the limit. No excuses. Keep chasing,
I don't know if that's a church, my brother, the Transformers. I don't know. Just some motivation for you. Live with arete. And I want you to write that word down. Arete. A-R-E-T-E. Look it up on the web at some point. And arete is a Greek. It's a Greek word. I believe it's from Greek mythology and Greek language rather. And it means to live with the highest version of you, essentially. To live with arete, which means the highest dignity, the highest version of you. And there's a great video I'll forward to you guys. We're not going to watch it during the prep. But yeah. My challenge to you is, can you live with arete? Can everything that you do put you in a position where you really are the best version of you? And I'm going to reference a couple of things with living with arete in a little bit. Don't forget the decision train. I want to recognize those of you that have submitted your letter of intent, because when you make the decision, your actions follow, and the feelings are always better versus the other way around when you lead with feelings. Because what's wrong with feelings? They change, right? They change. And when you make the decision, and the ultimate decision in our realm right now is the letter of intent, because it really is a verbal affirmation of your commitment. So I'd like to recognize those of you that have yours. And if you have a letter of intent, and if you could stand up real quick, I'd like to recognize those of you that do have an official letter of intent for next summer. I'm really counting on you guys to lead the way. And if we give everyone here standing a big round of applause, appreciate that. Another oldie but goodie. It never gets easier, you just get better. But my question is, have you gotten better since the last prep, or are you here at the same state? Right? There's nothing worse than coming to these events of growth, and being in the same place, or what's even worse, being behind from where you were the last time you were here. And that's the thing. I think if you can focus on every single time being a better version and progressing, I think that's something those are big wins. I saw a movie the other day with Heidi, and it's one of my favorite actors, Denzel Washington. Anyone know the new movie with Denzel?
Yeah.
The Equalizer. Holy smokes. Has anyone seen Man on Fire? The movie.
Yeah.
It's like Man on Fire, but a different version. And he was on fire. At the end of the day, it's a movie about this guy who's, you still don't know with all certainty. He's like some past former secret operative super spy. Yeah. Who now decides to leave that business. His wife dies, and you somehow gather that his wife died, and so forth and so forth. But he's like a super killing machine spy. And he decides to take justice. And anyway, part of the movie, he's training this really overweight security guard that works at the Home Depot. And he's trying to help him out. And he's like, yeah, Mr. So-and-so, I'm really trying hard, and I'm not quite there. He goes, hey, progress, not perfection, right? I said, are you part of AGL, Denzel? I think he's part of AGL. Progress, not perfection. People inspire you or they drain you. Pick them one. Bodes to what point? Circles of influence. Everyone knows that. So with that being said, welcome to AGL Prep number 3. We'll do a very quick lightning round. You have 7 seconds or less. Anyone that is broadcasting, feel free to just go ahead and comment on the Facebook, but we'll do a quick what's hot and what do you appreciate. All right, and we'll go in the back to the front. So Isa, very quickly, you have 8 seconds or less. What's hot, what do you appreciate? Go.
What's hot is that AGL Prep and Olympics is coming up. I appreciate the opportunity to grow and just be a better version of powerful.
There you go. Hold that.
Was only I managed out of them when I was expecting anything. I managed to do my actual first lip sync, and it went awesome. The 2 demos, and they give me more than 50 reps between the both of them.
There you go. Good.
What I really appreciate is all I learned that led me to that.
All right. There you go. Put it to use.
I said what's hot is seeing the commitment level and seeing just more and more level intents coming in. And what I really appreciate is just everybody's growth and to the process.
There you go. Ricky, what's hot? What do you appreciate?
What I appreciate is our NLG session this morning. Just being able to see how far and just how far the FC's come with as far as development of these FC layers, and it's really cool.
It's really awesome.
Even though I wasn't here from the very beginning, it's still awesome to see. And then what's hot is just another opportunity to keep getting better and keep learning.
Okay, Dwayne.
What's hot is that I'm here in the FC again, and I really appreciate how everything that I've learned up to this point.
Okay, me too. I appreciate you being here and taking the trip over. Thank you.
What's hot is definitely this group. Everybody looks so sharp. Awesome. I appreciate just being in this prep. I remember when I was in AGL, this was always my favorite one, the prep before OLAN. So just the topics today.
Okay, big topics. Ryan.
I think what's hot is what like, how do I say this?
You have 7 seconds.
What we're able to do, basically what we're able to do in preparation for when we branch, we're managers and stuff like that. and the trust that you have in us, and basically appreciate the support and energy of everyone
Good.
within our offices and the FC as a whole.
There's a lot of support here. Good. Thank you for sharing.
What's hot, being at staff, but I appreciate the heck out of Karina Marquez and Isabel and the team. They work really, really well with me. They really understand me, and it's really incredible so far.
Yeah, it's interesting how your experience changes with the environment, doesn't it? I mean, this is the second time for you, and it's a different experience all because of the environment. So great, Franco.
What's hot is the opportunity that we have. Like before, Vector, I didn't even imagine running my own office and like having my own receptions and doing everything like that. And what I appreciate is the staff that, like, if you're willing to learn, they'll help you out. So, I mean, with any other jobs, like, you'd have to go seek it out. But over here with everybody's like willing to give you tips and everything.
Okay, excellent. Heather, 7 seconds.
What's hot is excited to be here for AGL, and I appreciate this awesome idea that we've been having the last couple of days.
There you go. Me too. Love being in South Florida. What's hot? What do you appreciate quickly?
What's hot is the energy that everybody has in the room, and I appreciate the fact that everybody is willing to help everybody out to achieve their goals.
There you go. So true.
What's hot only is less than a month away.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate not only water, but just the communication I've been having with my manager to really help me like grow a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay, I love it.
What's hot definitely is the support group that's in this room. Just like all these people who are dedicated to the same goal. And what I appreciate is definitely the opportunity for leadership and the leadership that we already have that surrounds us.
Yeah, continue to grow that. Thank you for sharing. Luke.
What's hot is a perfect regular season for football. We've got a haircut, don't look like a 12-year-old anymore. And what I appreciate is my circle of influence.
That's awesome. That's true. Congratulations. And that's funny. His team next week, right? Friday. Yeah, this week I'll be at the game. His
2 weeks for charter.
Next
week's an easy.
So you're playing Halloween night?
Yeah, I think Halloween night. It might be
okay.
Thursday or Saturday. They might move it.
I got you. So the team he's playing is the team that my buddy coaches. He's the defensive coordinator on that team. I said, would it be interesting if you played my guy from Cutco? And then here they are. It's exciting. So I'll wear, what's your green and white are your colors?
No, we're red, white, blue. Mostly red.
Oh, okay. So I'll wear red on one side and I'll wear blue. I think my buddy's team is blue. So I'll wear red and blue. That's right. I'll do half and half. No body paint.
What's hard is actually being able to make it over here. I didn't think I was going to be here for this prep. What I appreciate is you, Jeff, and helping me out with a lot of things. So I appreciate your guidance.
Awesome. I appreciate you, man. Round 2. It's exciting. Different round 2. Senor Tovar.
What's hot? I joined the gym, and ironically, it's actually called the Gumboa Gym. Super weird. I don't know. I'm not,
Liar.
I'm not.
I believe you. It's Cuban boxer.
It's a block from my house.
You just need a ball.
And what I appreciate is I appreciate the support systems, people taking time to make me better. So I appreciate the support system we have in our office.
Good. Luxa, welcome back. What's hot? Do you appreciate?
What's hot is just I love this time of year in general. It's when people start separating themselves from the pack, and it's really exciting to see who's putting in their letter, who's going to be stepping up at Olean, A squad versus B squad. It's pretty exciting. And then what I appreciate is just like I remember where I was this time last year, and it's just such a whirlwind, and it's so cool looking back and where I'm going to be a year from now.
What she references is this prep on, we start to separate A squad, B squad. A squad means you're still on pace to potentially earning a branch office, and B squad means you lost all opportunities to earn a branch. And we'll separate after Olean. So after Olean, we'll know who's A, who's B squad, but now's the time, my friends. And it doesn't matter where you are up to this point. What happens is from now until Olean. So that's the theme, from now until Olean. Good.
What's hot is that I'm also working out more, taking kickboxing classes and like Zumba and like CrossFit.
Zumba.
So it's really fun and exciting. And what I appreciate is just everyone supporting me and giving me advice and just helping me out and trusting me and all the support.
There you go. You're doing it all. I like it.
What's hot is definitely a mind shift mentality of different things that have been happening all at once, and I appreciate the support I've had with my manager, Randy, and yourself, and the commitment that we placed here. The mentality things that we've placed here since the beginning, like decision, action, and the feeling that keeps you committed to what you're doing. That helps
That's important.
everything shift.
Good for you. Thanks for sharing.
What's hot is even though I've been to Olean 3 times, I'm excited like it's my first. And what I appreciate being able to attend the DM staff meeting this past week.
There you go. Try 19 times. Damn. He's old. What's that?
Does lasagna still taste good?
Yes, it
I
does.
don't eat the lasagna. I haven't had a lasagna in years. I'm not privileged enough. Once you get, it's like a penalty to us. If you get up higher, you don't get the lasagna. Best part. So, thank you.
What's hot is the ability of being able to translate what I learned here in AGL to my other activities, such as being the president of the PPA club and having people recognize the way that I speak and command the room. They afterwards come up to me like, "Wow, you really did a good job," and I definitely appreciate the fact that we learn all these skills here, and of course my mentors and the management that always keep me accountable for everything.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
What's hot is I'm running a team with Jarrell, and I'm very excited because I look up to him a lot, and I just love the way he leads a group of people.
Good.
And what I appreciate is health because I am happy that I'm not sick anymore.
It's interesting when you get sick how much we appreciate health.
Yeah.
So, good. Thank you for sharing.
What's hot is I'm happy that I'm like able to be here with everybody here because it really does make a difference. And then I appreciate as well like the community here and the team because not everybody like thank you for the birthday wishes and everything. A lot of places don't really care.
Yeah. It's your birthday. It's 1/9. You know, do you understand the significance of 19?
I don't want to be 19.
What's hot is the weather's getting better, and I'm just pretty sure we're gonna learn today. And then what I appreciate just Ricky Ballister and Alan Delta.
Okay, cool.
What's hot is that as of last week, I started running interviews at the office, and then what I appreciate is definitely the trust and support that Kathy and Paz have for me to have me as a team leader and running interviews at such a young age.
And I want to say I appreciate you, though, for his part, because I just got a text from Paola Lindenman, who's our district manager in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and they've been broadcasting. And her text to me is, "Who's this kiddo? He has brownie points for making the funny faces and making my day." And it's him. So, thank you. We have a special guest. This is Mr. Chinchilla, high school senior, who's accelerated very quickly. He's serving as a special guest to kind of get what we call quick entry into AGL school. So we'll give you an opportunity. What's hot? What do you appreciate, sir?
Yeah, what's hot right now is the fact that I'm even here. And so also the fact that I just sent in all my college applications to have that like completely out of the way.
Good.
What I really appreciate is opportunities that Vector has really given me, like a chance to really flourish, and also the opportunities such as like being able to have the possibility of running my own branch in the summer and like attending AGL school.
Yeah, I just love the high school seniors, Luke, Chinchilla. It's just really cool to see that you guys are getting. I mean, when you talk about an advantage in life on your peers, man, this is it. So welcome, congrats on being here.
Thank you.
What's hot is I'm finally back as of like a week, kind of 6 days ago. Like I'm finally off the pain medication, off everything. So like I'm
Good.
100% off here. What do I appreciate is just like always the staff, the family that I have down there in Miami, and the support that I got while I was gone, and allowing me to come back and still trust me with the responsibility to run my own team, still running interviews, and just having that trusting environment.
There you go. You do have a trusting environment, but you have to be willing to be trusted, if you will. Good point.
What's hot for me is getting back on the demo grind. So like a grand every week, so I want to definitely step that up.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, what's hot mainly is just like pass by a customer's house and like 12 yeses from them, and like a couple extra recommendations. So like setting up the way.
Yeah. What perfect timing, huh?
Yeah, being intentional. And what I appreciate is just my circle of influence, but especially my lower level circle of influence, pushing me to be better.
Yeah.
So that way I could be a higher level of influence for them.
Yeah. Sometimes people forget that the people below you in the circle of influence, if you forget that, you don't have people looking up to you. And that's just as much of a factor in how your performance when you have people looking up to you, people that you're the role model to. Okay? So I love being a godparent. Because I have to, I mean, I don't know if you know the concept of a godparent, and we're not trying to speak religion, but in my religion, godparent means the parents look to you to be a sign of how to be an adult. And if God forbid, something were to happen, you'd be the parent. It's heavy.
Yeah.
That's kind of heavy. And and I said, I need to step my godparent game up. So now I have weekly FaceTime PCs, I guess you will. Now it's different, right? They get on, it's like, "Hi, Neil and Jeff," and they run around the house, and that's the conversation. And I end up talking to the mom. But I think they'll remember that years to come, and I think that's really important. So just to your point, interesting. Now is the time for leadership. I saw this from an old message. So how do you get engaged? Number one, get possessed. Right? This is from me. I put this together a couple of years ago. How do you get engaged? Get possessed. Get possessed You ever seen someone in sports go, this guy, this girl is possessed right now. They are in the zone. Get possessed. And you can never pinpoint it, but when you get, who's ever been in like a zone or the zone, sports, Cutco, school, right? Whenever you're in it, you don't know how you got there, but one thing's for sure, you don't want to get out. So get possessed over the push, get possessed over your training, get possessed over growing the next couple of weeks from now to Olean. 2, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said it that way, but forgive all the haters. Forgive all the haters for hating. Okay, they know not what they do. Okay. 3, lose yourself during light bulb moments. When you have a light bulb moment, don't just say, "Oh, that's interesting." Haha. I'll put my hands up because that's what Jeff does. Oh, haha. Oh, let me post on Facebook. It goes beyond that. When you have a light bulb moment, get lost in it. And maybe not to the degree of you're losing focus for a meeting. But when you have a light bulb moment, there's a reason it's a light bulb moment. But when you don't act upon it, when you don't follow through with it, that's all it is. It's a moment. Right? We don't want light bulb moments. If anything, it should be light bulb direction changers, light bulb instigators, light bulb motivators, if you will. 4, share with those who care. And it just happened to rhyme. Share with those who care. What does that mean? Hold yourself accountable with leverage. People who are supportive of you, give them more of the goods and what's happening with Branch, and that you're traveling, how far you're traveling, and you're doing all these conference calls. Does anyone, raise your hand if you have someone who is a support, and contrary to what we feel like we all have, all these negative people who don't support what you're doing. How many of you do have some pretty positive people outside the business who are like encouraging you? Yeah, share more with them because they'll share more back to you, and it's so encouraging. That's how you get engaged. 5, debrief, document, and learn. We are the debrief division. FC is the debrief division. We're the light bulb division. Those are the 2 things. We're the circle of influence division. Are we not? Right? Meredith's shaking her head. That's us. Debrief, but document. There's nothing worse than debriefing. You don't write anything down, because then you don't retain the information. And then learn. Continue to learn. It's so ironic how many of you in next level are scripting videos right now. Don't forget the COI, your circle of influence, and have target events to measure and grow. And of course, the targeted events are these events monthly. And the most important one coming up, which is what? It's only coming up. So, and I can take a picture of this later if you want. Because a great man once said, we are trying to create an infectious enthusiasm for growth and leadership. My question to you is, are you part of the infectious growth and leadership, infectious enthusiasm? Right? There's a difference between, and this is explaining our culture. There's a difference between, wow, I'm infected by this culture, or I'm an infector. Right? The first one you experience. The second one, you're responsible for the experience. And it's so much more fun to be responsible for the experience. That's what branching is. Right? You can be a rep, you can be an assistant, you're getting an experience. Or you can be the manager and you are responsible for people's experiences. People who are responsible for the experience have a different experience. It's more enjoyable. You also get paid more in life. You also get more responsibility. You also move the world when you're responsible for the experience. Keep that in mind. Hopefully that's a light bulb for you. And don't forget how we do things, right? The anchors define not what we do, but how we do it. Are you honoring these at all times? When you carry yourself on a daily basis, during the push, Olean, beyond, do you carry yourself with anchor number 1, true professionalism? And that goes beyond your language and your dress code, although very important. Showing up on time, assignments, accountable, how you carry yourself. It's one thing to be professional when you're in the meeting, and then you have this language that's not professional. You can't be, it's like, oh, I'm going to be really on point when I'm at work, but when I'm at work, it's like YOLO time. It doesn't really work like that. If you live YOLO if you live like that, you live like that. I'm going to be a really good family member. I'm going to be a terrible family member, terrible father, but I'm going to be a great branch manager. Now, if you're a terrible person, you're just a terrible person. It doesn't matter where you are. You just hide it in certain environments, is what I'm saying. 2, explosive team building, recruiting. Do you know that there's a PR contest right now, and what the levels are for the most, I would say, the most ridiculous contest we've put out in a long time. To win prizes that are way over the budget, and there's a reason now the DVM team has less fun because our money went to that budget. Just so you know. Right? Explosive team building. Are you aware of the PR contest? Are you doing what you can? I mean, Ricky's been here for how long? He now is going to different family members, having them post on their Facebook and having them email blast their college classes to get more PRs. And not just for a surround sound system or whatever they give. What do they give? PS4?
And
Xbox One, TV.
Whatever, all that crazy stuff. Okay? Apparently it's exciting because no one can stop talking about it. But are you on the move and creating active recruits? 3, high standards of sales performance. Anchor number 3 is my favorite. It's so appropriate now because we have the Olean push. And then number 4, why we're here today, is the aggressive pursuit of growth. That's what we do. But why we do, a la Simon Sinek, one of our favorite speakers from TED, right? Or Sinek rather. It's the why of what we do. The why of what we do here at Cutco is to create a unique experience for our customers and for our reps. But here in the FC, it's of course to create what? The M3PG experience, right? The most powerful professional personal growth experience. So if you're part of the let me do this. I'm going to put this in like kindergarten terms. You're part of Cutco and you're part of the FC, and part of the FC means you are creating an M3PG experience. Are you creating an M3PG experience for yourself? Are you just doing assignments to check up at a meeting you're supposed to be at and you have to be at? Or are you coming to these meetings going, "Man, I've grown a lot"? Right? How many of you have experienced some type of moderate or drastic growth since the last prep? Not everyone's going to raise their hand. Should be though, right? And we're cultivating an environment. If you knew that you had an environment you were forced to get better, isn't that the environment to be in? And that's here. And that's what we do. You know, what motivates us is not, I mean, I can just tell you right now, it's not the money, because there are times where I like money more than others. And there are times where I like traveling more than others. Believe it or not, you get sick of traveling. But I just want to travel the world. I love traveling. I do love traveling. After a while, I just want to be home. I just want to sleep in my bed. Or I just want to sit and do what's comfortable and be able to hang out with my girlfriend and not have to FaceTime her from whatever meeting I'm at. Right? But at the end of the day, what always keeps people excited is this. You know, I sent a picture. Luke, you'll appreciate this, because Heidi knows Luke from 2 events, from events he's won. And I said, look who cleaned up. She's like, "Ah, that's amazing." She goes, "I'm so proud of him, so proud of you." Because she knows this is why I do what I do. She doesn't introduce me as the Cutco guy to all of her friends. She goes, "What does your boyfriend do?" She goes, "Oh, he works with college students." That's how she explains it. I'm like, that's what I do. And I'm the knife guy. Okay, and I go like that too. Stab you motion. Don't do that. Here's some cool M3PG. I went to the archives. This is one of my first branch managers since I came to FC. It says, "Hey Jeff, I hope the rest of your summer is fantastic, and the FC is now beginning to become the organization you wanted it to be. I'm writing this because I just got done with my first professional event with Delta Sigma Pi. They wanted me to organize events where local businesses come and meet the chapter. I found myself mirroring Vector, no big surprise. I gave the speaker an intro before he came up, and I tried to bring as much of the Gamboa magic I was a beneficiary of. And afterwards, I worked the crowd. In the end, I feel like I got a glimpse, albeit a small and minuscule one, of what you must feel like after each SC2. Again, I have and will do. Thank you for giving me a solid skill set and foundation to start my college career. I hope the current M3PG students are all revitalizing and preparing to do it again next summer." This was Jacob, who was part of the summer where we came up with the M3PG theme. And how how things have changed 3-4 years later. Okay. You may know someone named Karina Marquez Sterling. Okay. This is when Karina was still in NLG, when Karina still was a student. I feel like a kid. Fun fact, while I'm studying, the prefrontal cortex is the area of the brain that manages emotions. It actually starts maturing 10 years after puberty, which means that the part of the brain that controls how someone feels and reacts to something doesn't even fully develop till someone is between ages of 23 and 26. The people we manage need that much more involvement and maturity on our ends. By scientific fact, they can't even fully manage their own emotions, so it's up to us to help them. Young managers, myself included, take that into consideration next time you're having a meltdown. High emotion equals low logic. This is, I think, 22-year-old Karina, 21-year-old Karina, maybe even 20-year-old Karina. I don't even know what year. Can I find out what year this is? This is her junior, senior year at FIU, while going through what you guys are going through. I think that's amazing. Now, I think it's amazing because it just shows what type of growth you're going through when you're in this environment. But I just think the actual information she shared, I could share this every single prep. Let me put this in other terms. You guys haven't even developed fully, so you should be putting yourself in situations where you have environments that will support you through these crazy times, through your crazy moments. Because you might not be able to make crazy time your biatch, right? You need help. You know how many meltdowns you guys have had since the last prep? I hear about them all. You see the movie Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
Right? And all this, no. That's how I feel with the meltdowns that you guys have. But we're still here. This one is in 2011. This prep, or this time of the year, 3 years ago. So just thought I'd share a fun fact of my day. I'm studying with my friend, and she's slaving over how to give a 7-minute presentation to her class. She thought that was so long. She's an education major and had to pretend she is teaching her future class. So I pry a little more what's about and why she's struggling. Long story short, I break it down with the presentation, intro, why, what, what's next, closing, the usual. Give her some tips and quotes to use and how to include the students. Mind you, I don't know much in American history. She probably knows nothing about it. And then gave her some quick Jeff Nimble public speaking tips. All in all, what took her hours of studying and leading to nothing, I did about 10 to 15 minutes and outlined the whole thing for her. Needless to say, she was more than grateful. Yay for AGL School helping Cutco peeps and beyond. And of course, yay. And I can go on and on and on and on. I mean, I have multiple, right? So if anything, I'm just trying to re-emerge the value that you're getting from being here today. And I want to honor you. I want to say thank you. I respect you because your peers are not here on Saturday afternoon doing what you're doing, nor are mine, right? My girlfriend's at the beach with her friend, her girlfriend. They're hanging out. I'd love to be at the beach. Not that I need it. I'm already very brown. I understand. However, we're doing things differently. We're doing things what now, so later we can do what others can. And that's so interesting, even on my end too. Even on my end. That point from A to B, what are we referencing here? Crazy time. Okay. How many of you felt like you've created new points B, C, D, and E recently? Meaning you've gotten through a challenge, you have new points, okay? What's the key? Don't regress. Regress is going backwards. What's digress? Going off topic, yeah. Tangent, okay. Inflection points. This is the time of the year where inflection points make such a big difference. What's an inflection point? It's a point where things change and you have different options, but it's very critical in terms of what happens in the future. You ever seen Scrooge? The story of Ichabod, right? Ebenezer. Ichabod Crane. Sorry, that's the head. Ebenezer Scrooge, rather. And he goes for the ghost of Christmas past, and he sees had he made different choices in life where he would be. Okay, we're upon that right now. What's the most important inflection point right now coming up? Olean. Okay, I love Olean, and then of course you have Thanksgiving. Like right after Olean, and then we have the big December program. And if you're Jewish, put a Hanukkah sign in. With all respect to my Jewish brethren. Okay? But here's why this is so important, because you got the Olean push. This is a chance for you to experience the only push that's going to come from everyone in the region, where you get to size up the competition. For you district managers and branch manager candidates that are official, you get to see who you're really competing against. How about the plant tour? There's nothing like a Cutco Olean plant tour. The Cutco Olean plant tour. Who has been? Nothing like it. The smell of 440A steel compels you. Watching the double D edge changes your life if you sell Cutco. Seeing someone polish the double D edge and polish the wedge lock grip, and seeing Cutco returns, and every year it happens, seeing a box and looking on the conveyor belt and saying, "Oh my God, that's so and so!" Someone from our division, or imagine it's yours. That was when I was in Olean. I saw one of my orders going out. Let me make sure you get that moment. I'm at the Cutco Olean tour. I'm the number rep in the nation that summer. I go to my first Olean. I meet Eric Lane, who then now is the chancellor, but he was Cutco. And I said, and he was walking up to all the candidates. "Oh, how much did you sell this summer?" 10, 20, 15, 10, 5, 7, whatever. I mean, "How much did you sell?" 76, sir. And I said it really humbly. He goes, oh, I know you. Right? And that experience, then going to the conveyor belt where they're shipping, it's going out to the UPS, and you see these, oh, that's my order! I sold that! You know how I don't know, you have to sell my stuff. Region collision. You'll get to meet the mighty Virginia division, Georgia division, Carolina division, North Florida division, of course, FC, and you get to see why we're considered the front runner for the Silver Cup this year as a region. You get to size up the competition, and of course, increase your income and matrix score. Those that are funded and trained get an office. I said that last prep. Those that are funded and those that are trained will get to run an office. Okay. And then what happens after that? You have Thanksgiving and beyond. So this is why this is an important time of the year. Thanksgiving is important because you got the office reunion. All the people that were away are coming back. The Chinos of the world from Miami. The Ana Hinestrosas and the Kayla Krause of the world. All coming back. And the Steve LeMays of the world. Okay? So we can dunk on him. What we will. What I think is so great about this, it gives you a chance to just kind of reconnect, but more importantly, you start building your PR army, because there will be contests. I would assure you, there will be contests for you that will probably go towards your January incentive trip when you PR people. Training time. This is your time to get observation. Next level group, we just meticulously mapped out how you're going to focus from now through Thanksgiving. And of course, you're also going to increase your income in your matrix. And then you get to the holidays, you get the December, January program, which is where you're going to see a mini summer for about 2 to 3 weeks in FC. And that's where you're going to see people like Kathy, like myself, like Karina, like our special district guest, Mary Lou in the back, Randy, Leslie, Christian, and of course, Paola in San Juan. You're going to get a chance to see them run a full-blown summer-like feel where there's no school, where you can run morning alliances at 8 a.m. every single day, where your phone jams aren't 10, 15 people, they're 30, 40, 50 people for a couple of weeks. And that's going to be your test trial period, if you will. Recruit your PR army, continue to do that. Chance to increase your matrix score. There's the year-end banquet push, and there's also the January incentive trip. And one of the cool things we started last year is that when you sell for this Oleum push, you start getting credit for that trip. Who's been on a January incentive trip before? Yeah, one. Ricky, let them know where we went to.
Can't tell them everything, but it was fun.
Yeah, can't tell them everything. Tell them where you went.
I went to Mexico.
Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. 2 different Mexico trips. January. I can just tell you one of the highlights of being in college in Cutco is earning that January trip. It's always a tropical destination. Not that we don't already live in paradise, by the way. It's a tropical destination, probably somewhere you wouldn't normally go to, and it's hanging out with the best of the best. It's one of my favorite trips of the year, and you have opportunities to win it easier by performing in this push, and then of course recruiting your PR army. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a chance to be spoiled by the company for doing what you're supposed to do in the first place.
Yeah, the anemones of being a performer, I would say. Good point. Year-end banquet, of course. Start planting seeds with your folks. Weekend of the January 24th weekend. Start planting seeds of getting your folks. I've yet to meet a parental unit. What movie is that? I've yet to meet a parent or a loved one that has come to the year-end banquet that didn't leave there super positive and excited about the opportunity and supportive. Okay, including my parents. Finalize your spot for 2015. I think that's the most important thing. That's what happens during the holidays. And of course, now is the time because the Oleum push is important. This is the SC2 push, if you will, of the fall. And what I love about the push, what's up for grabs? Well, there are a lot. Take a look. And this is also the richest contest we put together. Right? At $2,000, all you have to do is sell $2,000. That's $1,000 a week, and it's actually not even $1,000 a week. Why? Because the push is a little over 2 weeks long. We have 2.5 weeks for the push.
Yep.
So you're talking about less than $1,000 a week, and you're going to get $2,000 in credit off the cut for your January trip. That's the easiest way to hit the trip. I'm just telling you. $3,500, you win a Cutco can opener. $5,000, you also win an entertainment pack. $8,000, 8 classic steak knives, and $12,000. You win a signature set.
And the first 3 are cumulative, right?
Mm-hmm. So please take advantage of this. What also is up for grabs, right? Trophies. I can tell you, all the people that won trophies, every single Oleum people who win the trophies always get the top spots. Do we have any past Oleum trophy winners in here? We got to change that. And how cool. You get the engraved zombie knife. I think that's just the coolest trophy because it could also serve as a weapon. How cool is that? This is my award. Right? Okay. I also want to share with you, and I want at this point not to go through lightly. One of the most important parts of the Oleum push is as you're increasing your sales, forcing a withholding is going to be to your benefit. We talked about the importance of getting to $2,500 in startup. Some of you are struggling, some of you are behind, some of you are ahead. Some of you, there are checks that still need to go through. Okay, we get it. But the thing I want to share with you is that this is the time to increase your withholdings. How many of you are withholding something? Okay, what I want to share with you is that that's positive, but also during this time of the year, during the Oleum push, a 10, 15, 20% withholding doesn't really make a dent. So what we're going to do later on, we're going to pass around a sheet. We're recommending getting that number up to 35, 40+%, at least just for the 2 weeks and then dropping it back down because you want to increase your withholdings. I have seen people go from lack of confidence to way on top of startup just because they were participating in the push and they forced the savings. Because I'm not going to have anyone raise your hand, but if you already feel tight now and you're having a hard time, okay, why not just continue how you're feeling right now, but secretly put money away? In other words, it's like the lottery mentality. You know why people, you ever see Where Are They Now shows?
Yeah.
Do you know that I think some crazy statistic of a high percentage of people who won the lottery are now almost back into or worse financial situations? Why? Because when they got money, they started living a life that they weren't living before. Live the same life, have more money, you save more money. Same thing here. So I hope that we're able to encourage you and to drive that. Also, adversity will truly show what you're made of. We want this to be difficult for you. We don't want an easy push. We don't want someone where every push is easy because they always sell a lot and it's no problem for them to give startup. And because that's not how real life is. That's not how your branch will be. That's not how leadership developments. But that's not how leadership develops, rather. And I share this, one of my favorite slides, oldie but goodie. You know, there are people who have problems, right? And you carry your problems like rocks and you pay attention to them. And then there are people who do this. Their problems are more like this. They just build up this wall of problems all the time. And they're really good at pointing out all the problems. They're a problem reporter. You guys remember that? Versus what? Problem solver. And then you have people that do this. They make a damn house out of the problems. You've seen that before. And then some people, it's like, my God. I don't even know where I found this one. I mean, they build their whole house around the problem, if you will. Okay? I don't even know if that's possible, whatever that is. Okay. Question is, which one are you? And which one have you been? Which one have you been at times? But can you look at adversity? Can you fight in the shade, if you will? Can you fight adversity? Can you laugh and continue to grow? Because at the end of the day, 10 years from now, what you're excited about, what you're nervous about now, doesn't really make a difference. But how you handle it does, and will mold you. Really quick thought on peak state of mind. I think being in the best mental state is one of the most important things. Never let your emotions or moods dictate your actions. Let your standards and principles dictate them. What does that mean? That's the decision train, isn't it? And you don't have to write this down. I'll send this up to you guys. Opportunity dances with those who already are on the dance floor. What does that mean?
Take the initiative.
Take the initiative. What else does that mean?
Put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there. It means be with the crowd that's dancing. Even if you're not dancing, be on the dance floor. This is the dance floor. Being an only with a push. Pushing for only, that's being on the dance floor. Because you never know who all of a sudden is going to rip off their jacket and start breakdancing like a mofo. You're like, I didn't know you could dance. Me neither. And you start breakdancing. You never know. Mike G. That's my really cool on the spot analogy. Okay. The human mind and nervous system, this is my favorite. The human mind and nervous system cannot tell the difference between an actual experience and one that is vividly imagined. So if you truly think it and believe it, it really, you can't tell the difference. So can you put yourself in a peak state? That's why some of us have walked on coals of fire. Mary Lou. Some of us have walked on fire at Anthony Robbins because you put yourself in a peak state. And you can trick your body by tricking your mind and putting yourself in a negative state, but for our intents and purposes, into a positive state as well. Okay. You know, it wouldn't be an FC prep if we didn't put this thing on, right? And I ask you to do it again and to reevaluate. Who are your circles of influence? Who's above you? Who are you learning from? Who's on your peer level? Who are you learning with? And who's below you? Who are you teaching for? Do you have people in all three of those circles? Are you missing some? Do you have ones that you need to get out? I think it's so important. Several of you said, I appreciate, Luke said, I most recently remember, I appreciate my circles of influence. Right? If you knew a circle of influence would change your life, wouldn't you put more direct effort into it? It has to, right? So are you intentional with your COIs? And truly, we are doing now what others aren't. And I appreciate and respect that. We're going to do a lot of work together. I also want to share with you, those of you that are aspiring district managers, and Paz is an aspiring district manager, Tori, the DM opportunity is better than ever. And this is not me trying to recruit any of you, but I do want you to know we have a pretty awesome experience. And let me put this to your terms. What the company did is they said, look, we want this. We want to do everything in our power in the next 3 to 5 years to make it so this is one of the most compelling opportunities for a college graduate. So by the time some of you graduate, district manager is one super exciting opportunity for you. And you know, with a base income of, let's say, $75,000 or more, perks, incentives, excitement, and they're doing a lot of things for that. So if you're inspired, if you're soon to be district manager, if you've thought about being a district manager, if you have no intent but you like options, or if you're totally opposed to it, that's fine too. Always keep an open mind, We just came back from SLC, our national conference. They just gave everyone a $12,000 pay raise. Give everyone $1,000 a month for next year. And I don't know if is anyone familiar with pay raises in corporate America? Right? Usually it's 1 to 3%. It's called it's adjustment for cost of living. What does that mean? As the economy and cost of living goes high, they'll adjust your income. That's a pay raise, 1 to 3%. So let's just say the average on the low end, a new district manager who's still building their business is making 30 to 40 grand. That's just, by the way, it's not necessarily an exciting opportunity, right? But let's just go on the low end. So we're just adding a $12,000 chunk. Okay. A $12,000 increase in pay is what a $100,000 income would get increased to. Meaning, if you were at $100,000 an annual income of $100,000, a 1 to 3% increase is that 10 to 12 grand pay raise. What is that for this one? It's like a 30 plus grand pay raise. So we just gave a 30+% pay raise to Mary Lou, and to Karina, to Leslie, to Christian, to Paola, to Kathy, to myself, to Randy, to Karina. I said Karina. Karina gets 24,000. Right? I think that's cool. Oh, and on a side note, this isn't the biggest thing, but it's just a cool perk. They're giving away opportunities. All of our district managers after the first 2 summers will be driving a BMW. And I don't think that's the most important part. It doesn't hurt. I don't think that's the most important part. But it's a great perk. It just happens to be a great perk where we would like to unify the company, make it a really cool position where you get to drive a BMW. And that's not, like I said, I don't want it to be about the BMW, because if that's why you're excited, you're in the wrong company. I'm just telling you. But I don't think it hurts. I think it's kind of cool. Right? And let me remind you of the ultimate experience. Our branch manager opportunity is no joke. Those of you with letters of intent in, this is the opportunity that you're trying to strive for. If you don't have a letter in, figure out why you're here. Right? And someone said, I'm here because I want to learn the skills throughout the training. You get only a fraction of the skills if you're just training versus someone who's training to run an office. Okay, I can just tell you, and Dario's probably going to mention that a little bit later on. But what's the ultimate experience as being a branch manager? This is from the last prep, right? It's 2 parts to it. What's the first part? 30 to 90 days of learning how to run a business, of being in charge, being the president, the CEO, the owner, being part of this crazy team, our FC leadership team, and being part of the annual picture. And don't become a manager just because you want to be part of the annual picture, but it's fun, okay? You're teaching, learning how to teach, implementing skills, right, David, about how to command the room and teach. Or I would show this is Karina in her branch days in 2011. How cool is that? This is her, young Karina, giving a message at the meeting. This is young Jessica in Puerto Rico for the summer. She decided to spend her whole summer in Puerto Rico. Look at her team. Dominating, #1. Look at this one. She decided to do it a second time. Look at that team. What an awesome branch team. And then, of course, after that's over, then there's the profit. Because what are the 2 objectives of branching? To get experience and profit what? Profit potential. Okay. And so this is where you create profit. You lead your army, so to speak. You're Leonidas with the Army 300, if you will. And you mount up, grab that sample Cutco sample kit, and start selling. And remember what got you there. And you field train your representatives, and you show them why you're the leader. Show them why you're the manager, why you're the boss. Show them who's daddy and who's mommy, if you will. And then you wear a suit and run on a track. No. I'm just kidding. And then you'll compete against your fellow branch managers. Right? These are all great incentives. And what's a unique incentive? And that's really, I'd say, the identity of our company. It's the process of traveling. I love that we travel so much. Is anyone interested in, and anyone know what the trip is for 2016? It's Istanbul. I'm so excited. We're going to Turkey, Istanbul in 2016. We're going to Italy this year already, or this year in the spring. But we're going to be going to Istanbul. So branch managers that do over $125,000 next summer, and district managers, if you hit your number, we're going to be traveling across the world. That's vector style. There's nothing like traveling with 400 to 500 people from your company. And usually, actually, 300 to 400 people usually plus from one company. Oh, your company travels. How many of you? Oh, 300 to 400. You see, I'm an ambassador of the company. I'm one of 30 division managers, and I really believe in this, that we're building a better, not airline, better business, not just a bigger one. So our goal is not just to sell more knives. Our goal is to grow the business with great people, and I hope you're excited to be a part of that as we go in. And I'll wrap up with the last few thoughts. #1, I am Two of the most powerful words for what you put after them shapes your reality. What's your vocabulary right now? I am confident. I am not sure. I am a branch manager. I am selling. I am full of momentum for the push. I am intentional in my circles of influence. I am always late. If you say that, you'll always be late. I'm just so disorganized. You know me. No, you know you, because you keep saying it. Speak it into reality. I challenge you. The best version of you is always speaking positive. The best version of you is very conscious of what you say after I am. And I want to thank you ahead of time. I think making statements is important. Are you making statements? I want to recognize already our letters of intent. Congratulations. Startup, how much do you need to be at right now to be on pace? 1,000. Or I'm sorry, 500 now, but you want to be 2 levels ahead. So by all in, 1,000 on pace is where you need to be. So here's my challenge to you. Get your startup up, get your matrix up, but be the best version of you. Right? If you're from FC, my challenge to you is on social media, around your friends live, with your folks, your friends, your peers, adults around you, with your customers. Can you dress your best for presentations? Can you run the best interviews? Can you script the best possible? Can you only post positive things that put you in the best version, the best light? Instead of everything on Facebook and vomiting your life. Right? Went to the bathroom. That was a bad one. I saw that the other day. From one of you guys, by the way. I was like, really? This is the future of our company. This is the leadership quality that we have. And that's the best they could come up with for Facebook. Really? You're here today, by the way. You're in front of me. Like that's the best you can do for you. Or how about, hey, I saw Ricky's the other day. He put a picture of him and Karina and said, I appreciate your influence in my life. And we've been through a lot. And it's just about growth and appreciating the circles. I like that one better. I like that one better. And know thyself. Okay? That's what one great philosopher said. Know thyself. Also, Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true, right? In his literature. Know who you are, know who you're not, but know that you can change that. Right? Only you, and if you're honest, can look in the mirror. That's what Vector is. Vector is a big mirror. And AGL school is a big mirror, and people don't like it all the time. Like, whoa. But sometimes we're the only ones that put the mirror up to you. And by the way, I'm also part of it too. I have a mirror all the time. And I don't always like what I see. But this is an environment that's going to help you. And as I wrap up, don't forget the last 2 preps, and we'll continue to talk about this. Don't let anyone out prepare. That's the worst. I think Tori was talking about that. Hates to be ill-prepared. Don't let anyone out prepare you. Okay. Give up who you are for who and what you can become later. Give up the game today. I know some of you missed the game. You know, you have a game you want to get to, whatever football game or whatever event. But you're here. Give that up for who you can become later. I think that's more impressive than what you gave up today. You will feel incapable all the time. If you feel like you got it, I'm also concerned. But you will feel incapable during this process all the time. You'll tell me you want to quit all the time. Several of you have done so over and over again. We've had to talk you off the ledge. Right? And it's like we had to calm you down. How about if you just went with the decision tree and say, okay, I'm not quitting. So when I go through that, I'll handle it differently. Whatever's making you feel most insecure, work on that now. For most of you, it's selling. If you're under, I don't mind saying this, if you're under 13 grand in sales, you're insecure. Every one of you. And if you tell me you're not, I can call you out and I can make you insecure in 30 seconds. I wouldn't do it. If you're under 13K, because you don't have any backing, you have no financial backbone. You've made 2 grand, maybe up to 3,000, maybe dollars with the company if you've sold 13 grand. Some of you since May. Spread that out over the weeks, you're making what, an average of 80 bucks a week? A couple $100 a week? So there can't possibly be confidence. So the solution to most of this is sell a lot of Cutco and get some confidence. If selling is not an issue, money is not an issue, it's training and learning parts of training. Confidence found through action, doing, being, becoming, not thinking. Ready, fire, aim, if you will. And then we'll let everyone else think about it, all the things they have to do while we're simply doing it. I would rather you be in motion than trying to think of the perfect plan. Because if you had the perfect plan, you should share it with me because I don't even have the perfect plan. just go with it and roll with it. I want to thank you ahead of time for an awesome prep. I feel like we've got an engaged group today. We have a lot. This is a different prep than before because we're going to take a quick stretch here. Dario's going to come up, deliver a message. We're going to take a full break, and then we're going to dive into two-part receptionist program. We've got the rep driven to drill for skill, which is such an important part of the business. We're going to do what's called coaching gate, where we have every next level member who's run an office before. And it's going to be very interactive with PDI calls, receptionist management. We're actually going to get some updates on some of the challenges. It's just going to be awesome. But you're going to leave here today, if you choose to, with an amazing experience and ready for the next prep, which is only. Okay? So with that being said, biggest takeaways so far before we do a quick stretch. We'll take a break. Yeah, Alan. I am. That's right.
As far as withholdings, if you can't see it, you don't use it.
Yeah, I highly encourage you to just jack it up. What's the highest you can withhold? 40?
40.
Yeah.
And then your bonus.
Okay, and you can do bonus on top. Okay. I would encourage you 30, 40 just for the next 2 weeks during the push, and then afterwards put it back to whatever it is now. Okay, in the back, Isa. Yep.
AGL, I just put this on the Facebook, but AGL is a big mirror, and sometimes it's hard to look into it because you realize you really are. And it's really interesting, but it forces you to grow, and it's really an amazing process when you are self-aware and you can fix it.
I said this to one of our candidates. I said, I don't care if you leave. I care if you leave and you didn't grow. Right? You can't. I said to him or her, I said, you can't leave yet. Yeah, but you said this is a stepping stone. Yeah, but you haven't stepped. That's what I said. I got quiet. Right? I said this is supposed to be a catapult to your next opportunity. You haven't catapulted. You haven't jumped. You haven't slingshot. You're just kind of equal ground. For this to be an M3PG experience, it has to be the most, and it has to be powerful, and it has to have the G, the most important part. Growth.
You like to inspire, nothing that drain you.
Yes. Circle of influence.
Establishing who you are to yourself in order to grow.
Yeah, know yourself first. Call yourself out.
It's important to understand training versus training for running a branch.
Mm-hmm. If you're just here to train, you're trying to learn by osmosis if you're just here without a letter. No offense. I'm just, I really want to get, many of you are going to think, he's talking about me. No, I'm just talking in general from my experience. I just want to come and learn the lessons, and I just feel like I want to learn from AGL. You're not really you're not getting the experience, because at the end of the day, everyone thinks, oh, they want you to put a letter in so they branch. We're not branching all of you. We can't. We won't. It's not a problem. And lest you forget, there's another 4 regions that you'll see in Olean of people who want the same territories. I think when you go to Olean, you realize, oh, wait a minute. It's not just the group that's in Fort Lauderdale that's competing for these offices. Oh. In Puerto Rico, it's not just people in Puerto Rico who can run Puerto Rico offices, because Christina Muxo last year went down to Puerto Rico. We could run Puerto Rico with a whole bunch of people from mainland if that's how it plays out. I don't believe that to be the case. We could run Florida with a whole bunch of Puerto Ricans. It doesn't matter. It's the people who are funded and most trained will get the opportunity. That's how it always works. Also, for the district manager candidates, everyone's assuming, oh, well, our districts are filled with FC. How do you know there are not a line of people that want to come down and work in FC? You don't think that people want to be part of this? You don't think there's a list? There's a list of people that Scott's talking to me about that want to import to FC because they love the division and they love to be a part of it. So for the Tories and the pauses of the world and the drills of the world, is it so locked up that you have a territory in FC? No, it's not for anyone, not for me either. So I think what's really important is just to recognize that. So what else? A couple more. We'll wrap. Dorian.
Living with Arete.
Again.
Yeah, because I mean, remember last year you went way more in depth about it. You probably will at some point, but it's really cool knowing like being the best version of yourself at all times.
That's it.
Making the list of just what you need to do in the beginning, where we took those 90 seconds to quickly jot down. Like,
how can you move towards it? How can you progress fast? What 3 to 5 things can you do? Good. Action, immediate action.
I just have to go over time. Just say this: you don't act on the light bulb moments, and it's just no.
Yeah, you don't want we want light bulb changes, not light bulb moments. Yes.
Adversity will truly show you what you're made of.
Mm-hmm. It's a tempering of the steel. 440A goes through all that adversity.
17.
That's right. Forged.
The difference between being a part of the experience and actually being the one that begins the experience.
Yeah. Are you experiencing the M3PG, or are you creating the M3PG for others? Follower, leader. Good. What else?
staying in the highest mental state possible, like at all times.
Yeah, Peak State. Peak State. Do you ever know? And I'm saying this for the third prep in a row. Do you ever notice? I'm not ignoring you at the beginning. I just don't need to take my energy before the prep. Some of you, Jeff. What makes you think it's so appropriate for me to talk to you right before the prep? And I want to hear whatever you're saying. Not no disrespect. When I've got the masses to affect, right? Take the same approach with your, Mary, we talk about Peak State. Take the same approach with your push. Take the same approach with your sports, right? I'm going to talk Luke for a second. If I'm Luke and I'm about to go into the playoff game and I'm playing whatever team, I'm not going to start talking to all my boys on text about the most. I want to stay focused on football and the game at hand. And that's the same thing here. It's the same exact thing here. Mary Lou.
I just like that you put all the upcoming stuff for the holidays on the TV. It just made me think this really is just my favorite time of the year with Olean, the incentive push. I just remember when I was an assistant manager, this was the time of the year where made the most money, saved the most money, and had the most fun time, but also had the craziest time too, with school and everything. But this is like the growth moment. The people who don't make it to the next point, you grew a little bit, but what happens between now, I would even argue after Olean, to January, that's like the biggest growth, but everything you do now is just like the setup for it. So
yeah, this is the move, right? Ask Muxo. This is the move, right? Yeah. This is where Muxo is not a nobody, but not on the radar. Somebody, but not a radar. Somebody's gonna get a hood.
Favorite time of the year.
What's that?
I said it was my favorite time of the year.
Why are you speaking to me like I'm deaf?
Because I'm deaf. That's why.
That's right. Okay. Alan, you're raising your hand?
Just say cash is confidence.
Cash is confidence. Okay. Good. So how about this? I want to take the break now. We're going to go 10-minute break. If there are any other additional light bulbs you want to post over the Facebook, let's get recharged. We're going to give our respects and attention to Darius. Going to share some thoughts as a second year. We're going to dive right into some instruction. Cool? All right. Give me 10.
Cracks begin to show. And the cracks begin to show. Cracks begin to show.
Yeah, that's I'm going to help you. Okay. Come settle in. We'll catch up.
Did you find a place?
It's closer than home. I know. I already know.
Should I drink another drink? Say another line. I know that you may think that I'm a fucking little bird in my mind. Cause I'm flying on the floor. I'm climbing up the walls. And every time I get a grip, I seem to lose myself just a little more. Cause I am here, ready to get me out. Oh, I love the way it feels. I really shouldn't say, but I can't get out. All that hurts on me. It's like an addiction. It's like an addiction. Should I drink another drink? Am I running out of time? Confusion makes me think this solution is beyond my sorry mind. Cause I am here, ready to keep me out. But I love the way it feels. I really shouldn't say, but I can't get out. Oh, it hurts on me. It's like an addiction. And I just can't breathe. It's like an addiction. I know I already want to say that. It's like an addiction. And I just can't breathe. It's like an addiction. I can't let go. It's like an addiction. I just can't breathe. It's like an addiction. And I'm already wanting to say that. It's like an addiction. I just can't breathe. It's like an addiction. Am I the only one? I can't let go.
Folks, let's roll. We gotta roll. Let's roll. Sam, can you let everyone know? We gotta go. Outstanding. Thank you.
We give her like new goods.
No, I have not. Yeah, so we met. Oh,
David, let everyone know we gotta go.
What are the community That's what you
Let's go, everybody.
Thank you.
Who else needs to say on that?
Jen.
They're the keys.
Paul, I like doing your story.
All right, so the letter of intent is a very unique situation where you've got it's a physical representation of commitment, right? I'll use Luke as an example. Luke's playing sports, and when you put a letter of intent for college, what does that mean? For football, what does that mean specifically? To the public and to the college? You plan on playing there, right? And your commitments don't diverge. And you may have seen situations in sports where they have a letter of commitment and they pull it out. They take it out, and that's looked down upon. Why? Because you made a commitment. That's something that the commitment's such an important thing. And I can tell you the story of Dario as a first-year management candidate, who I would say Dario getting into AGL wasn't necessarily the most impressive candidate pound for pound. He was a great candidate. He was a loved candidate. Everyone loves Dario. But what I can tell you is that he emerged through the SLC process. His letter came in around that time, and he went into Olean with a different mindset. And how many of you have submitted a letter of intent in previous AGLs, like for next level, right? Things change, right? Yeah. What changes?
Your level of commitment.
How you walk, how you when you show up. It's so funny. I have Dario. I noted to myself the last 2 times for prep he's been late, or not late, right on time. Never late. And of course, I pull in the parking lot. I'm one of the first people here. He's been sitting here the whole time. I get out of the car. I say, put a letter in. Guy shows up like 30 minutes early, and he gets out of his car with his Miami Vice jacket. He's like, yeah, here I am. Don Johnson. So I wanted to give Dario an opportunity to speak. Rather than me speak about Dario, when you think of Dario, what are some positive things you think about when you think of Dario, and those of you that have met him and that know Dario, what do you think of?
His willingness to help.
Yeah, he always wants to help. Yeah, what do you think of?
Smiling.
Yeah, he's always positive. He's got that fun, like me, that cheesy, like he's just like that big cheeser. So am I.
I think Los Spadas.
Say it again?
I think Los Spadas.
Los Spadas. Yeah, he's able to eat a Los Spadas sub like no other. Yes.
Genuine, like when you have a conversation with him, like he's like genuinely like intriguing, which I have to say.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
He's present with you. Good point. What else? Leader.
Infectious attitude.
Infectious attitude. Yeah, I think of someone who's just grown up so much, and my favorite, the best is yet to come. So I give to you, with the letter of intent submitted for round 2, earning his spot to branch a second time, I give to you, real quickly, some perspective. Give a round of applause, Mr. Necker.
Hey guys. So yeah, as Jeff was telling you, I'm coming up here to talk to you guys about letter intent. And my main goal isn't to just, convince you to turn in a letter if you don't have one in yet. Because I know some of you guys are here and you have your letter of intent in. The first thing is, like, you heard about branch, and you're like, I don't know what branch is, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm turning my letter because it's branch, right? And there's some of you that were just like, hey, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm supposed to turn in a letter, right? You're like, all right, letter of intent. I guess this is what they want me to do, so I'm going to turn it in. And that's not the right training, but we'll get to that here in a second. And then some of you who don't have a letter in yet. So there's a bunch of different situations going on right now, but I'm going to address all of them here in a little bit. Who here has their letter of intent in? So a good amount of you guys. Okay. And feedback from 2 or 3 people. How's your training changed since your letter's been in? You know?
It's kind of like knowing, like this is something that I committed to, so everything kind of takes it up a different level more serious. It's like, okay, learning the PR approach. It's not like, oh, I'm learning it to help the office. No, I'm learning it to help my office when I branch next up.
Mm-hmm. So just your whole commitment towards
Yeah.
it. Okay. Another person? Yeah.
Just more intentional towards everything you do. All your actions are just more intentional, more focused, and more geared toward preparing yourself to run your office.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's like the same thing, just everything commits more. Cool. You know, when I started last summer, I heard about branch through SLDM, and I went up to Jeff, and I was like, I don't know what branch is, but I'm going to do that. And I've had that mindset since then, like the whole I am. I keep telling myself every day, you know, I am going to go branch. And it ended up happening, but, you know, the reason I submitted my letter so early is I just knew I was ready. You know, sometimes you just got to do what you feel is right. I mean, we talk about the decision train, right? Decision, action, and then feeling, right? So after I put in the letter, you know, I wasn't really on Jeff's radar at all. You know, I was just a normal candidate that was just going through the steps, doing my thing, just, you know, being in the program. But once I submitted my letter, completely different. You know, after I submitted my letter, we had the SLC push. Before the SLC push, I sold like 10,000 all summer. You know, I wasn't a standout candidate. I didn't sell 20, 30, 50,000 throughout the summer. I wasn't like that. But when the SLC push, I just submitted my letter. I was like, all right, time to step up my game. We got this NFL contest going on. And yeah, Patriots game, right, Ricky? And you know, I won that. And after that, like, completely changed. It's just so quick how things can change. So whatever position you're in right now, don't let that be where you're going to end up. Right? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we're nowhere close to the finish. But we got a month until Olean, so that's some big things. A lot of things can happen in the next month. So if you're not happy where you're at, you have an Olean push. If you are happy where you're at, you can lose that in a second as well. So just keep that in mind. But if I didn't go branch, I trained like I was going branch. And I think that's something that's really important that everyone should understand, that if you're here right now, you should be training like next summer, you're putting the key into your door. You're opening that up, and you're going to have your own office. Because if you train to be an assistant manager and you get a branch spot, you're going to look back in February and you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm about to open an office. I wish I took it seriously back then. But you can't take that time back. Right now, some of the most important time, because after Olean, we keep moving on. If you're getting behind now, you know, just I was behind a little bit and I had to catch up. Because once you put the letter in, the fire gets lit underneath you. So speaking about Olean, Jeff was mentioning it briefly, but in Olean, we split up the teams into A squad and B squad. A squad means you're on track to run your branch. B squad means you're on track to be the assistant manager. You don't want to be in B squad if you have your letter in. I was on B squad. Right? So that said something. You know, once I knew I was on B squad, I was like, holy crap, I need to do something to change this around. Because 99% of the time, if you're on B squad, you do not earn a branch. Right? So from there, financially, I was not in the best place. Like I said, I only sold $10,000 throughout the summer. It's only $2,000 in like 3 months, whatever it was. So I wasn't financially the best spot. So once I signed up for Olean, though, kind of like Brian, me and Brian's my mentee. We're talking about Olean. We're both in the same situation, not financially the best. It's the decision train. Signed up, now we're starting to sell. You know, and just to know that you're going to do it changes your whole perspective. So, you know, over this next month before Olean, like I was saying earlier, it's going to change a lot, and it's going to put in people in different positions. So whatever you want to do next summer, I'm telling you, this next month is going to make a big, big difference. And, you know, then moving a few steps ahead, opening up the key to my branch. You know, I was talking to Chinchilla earlier, and, you know, he asked me, we're talking about branch. He said, I looked at him, Muxo talked about just everything. It was rewarding. None of you guys know exactly what branch is until you do it. I mean, Muxo, everyone who's ran a branch, you guys all know what I'm talking about. You hear about it, you train for it. Once you do it, it's just a whole nother experience. So, you know, after running a branch, I'm in class, I'm just sitting there like literally thinking, I can teach better than these teachers. I can speak better than these teachers. I have a public speaking teacher. She's like, oh, I've been doing public speaking for a while. I was like, why are you like pacing back and forth all class? Like, what are you doing? Just certain things like that. And these are just things that you guys are learning, not even being a branch manager, right? So, and, you know, after my branch, it was a long, hard summer. You know, it was a lot of long days, rewarding days. But after the summer ended, I kind of hit like a dry spell. I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I got lazy and I started not planning. And if you don't plan, I'm sure some of you guys know in the Miami office, if you don't plan, you're planning to fail. And I just got off track a little bit. My mind was a little bit wrong. And I started to plan. I started getting my mind back in the right state of, you know, frame. And, you know, I started talking to Jeff more, communicating. And whenever, this is kind of like a little bit off, but like, if you're ever not in the right place, you need to communicate. Mm-hmm. You cannot just hold that in, you know, because we can never, like, people are saying, I like to help. I can't help you. No one can help you if you don't communicate, right? Who knows what's going on? But I do know that once I started reaching out, things started changing. And the path is that what's on the table was huge. I hesitated to turn my letter of intent this year. Like, a lot of the branch managers, like Alan, me and him branched last summer together. He turned it in probably 2 months, we would say about 2 months before I did. And I hesitated because I just wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to commit to that again. But now looking over it, I had a talk with Jeff, and now that I turned my letter of intent in, I feel awesome. I feel ready to roll. I'm going to catch up on my training that I've been just, you know, coming to. I've been coming to these trainings, and I've just been here. Like some of you guys with your eyes closed, you're just here, right? But now I'm going to be here. I'm going to be ready to roll. And, I mean, look at me. I'm wearing a white jacket. Of course I feel different, right? I must have my letter in. I'm wearing a white jacket. It's ballsy, right? But it's the decision train, right? I made a decision, and I'm going to commit to it. People who have your letters in, you got to commit to it. Tell yourself, I am going to go branch. Right, Brian? Are you going to go branch?
Yeah.
I am. Following that path. And, you know, I can stand up here and tell you guys I'm going to be a branch manager next summer because I'm going to tell myself that. Like Jeff was saying, your mind doesn't understand whether you're really doing it or if you're just thinking it. So what thoughts are you putting in your head? Right? So, you know, to wrap things up a little bit, I want to say, like, the letter of intent, some of you guys are in here, you're committed. Like T.I., for those who don't know Tori, he's so committed to this process and being a DM. He's over-preparing everyone. Like, he's on point right now. Just people like that who are really committed and to the process. Then you have people who have their letter of intent in. They're just thinking about, you know, I have my skin in the game, but, like, you know, how hard should I train? Do I really want to go branch? And then there's some of you who don't have your letters in. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard the term before. When you don't have your skin in the game, like, you know, nothing really matters too much. Let me break it down. Let's say you're watching a football game, doesn't mean as much if you're betting $1,000 on that team, right? Then you're going to pay attention a little bit more. Once you have your letter of intent in, it's like $1,000. It's actually your own money that you're going to invest into a business. So holding back on that letter of intent, it's a whole different training. I know some of you who don't have your letter in right now are going to end up putting it in and thinking, wow, these last 2 months, my training was nowhere near where it was. It's going to reflect in the summer. Right? Robbie was in since day one. He was the #1 branch in the FC. He was committed. He had the skin in his game. Right? And all I know is that everyone here who has a letter in tells themselves they're going to go branch. They're fully funded and are completely trained. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have fun this summer. You're going to make mistakes. But, boy, is it going to be worth it. I came up here to do it my second time because once you do it once, yeah, that's cool. But doing it twice, learning from your mistakes, realizing so many conversations you messed up, so many things you could have done better, training, things like that, it's just a whole nother level. So I can't wait to go out there and do it my second time. I still have to earn my spot. My spot's not guaranteed. One of you could be sitting in the branch territory where I could be. You know, it all depends on the training I get from here on out. Same with you. Any of you. Wherever you're at right now does not dictate where you're going to be. I can tell you that from experience. Being on the B squad was not a fun thing. So I'm glad to see a bunch of branch managers in this room right now. I know some of you guys are gonna be out there doing your thing this summer. I'm here to help you out. But all I gotta say, it's fun, it's worth it. Like I was telling you earlier, it's definitely worth it. So work your hardest and make the most out of your opportunity. Don't just come here to be here. Be here. All right.
All right. Don't say ballsy. don't say ballsy on stage. All right. No, it's okay. Progress. Hey, the objective of his message is just to kind of clarify when you put that letter and also where you should be. And I also want to reference there are a few of you who put letters in early, and since then have kind of regressed a little bit. That's okay. That's okay. But remember when you put the letter, I encourage you to reread your letter and follow through. That's a big part of it. That's okay. Oh, I missed it. I know, for example, if you don't have a letter in, there's a certain type of train that's not happening. If you're not signed up for Olean, right? There's like small minority, like 2 to 5 of you. It's like, well, Olean, I need money. Who can give me a really good analogy? If you've run an office before, if you're next level, what's a really good analogy? If I don't want to sign up for Olean right now, I need money, and I can't sign up for Olean. Ricky.
A lack of confidence and ability to sell.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
That's almost like saying, well, I can't go to the training because I don't have gas money, so.
Yeah, so you need to go to the training. Yeah, I get it. How about this? This is what I'll say, and I don't mind saying this. Every year, if you don't make it to Olean, you're pretty much done. We have so many people now, I can say that. How cool is that? I used to like hide it. Almost like asking, please come to Olean. Screw that. If you don't make it to Olean, I'm just telling you, it's tough to be here. And if you feel like, gosh, I'm struggling right now, I don't know if I'm gonna be here, go to Olean, at least give yourself a shot. A chance. I've yet to see someone go to Olean and not be here and not recover. But sign up and get committed. So I'm excited. How many of you already officially signed up? We should be almost the majority. Okay, a couple of you. And if you haven't, there's a situation, talk to me. I know Luke has with conflicts with college, but it's different. And if you have any challenges, talk to me. I want to bring up Beth for our receptionist program part 2. If you remember, what did we cover last receptionist program? The funnel, okay. And what have we also covered since then? What part of recruiting have we? The PR approach. So she's going to do a few keys. The objective of this message, a little bit, like I would say a third of her message is keys to the PR approach. We're going to start to cover IAP approach, handling objections. We're actually going to take the time. Ricky's going to restart. We're going to restart the broadcast so that it's labeled on YouTube as prep number 2, part 2 receptionist program on. So we're going to reboot onto a new link, everybody. So go ahead, Ricky. In the meantime, Beth, we had a really interesting discussion with Next Level.